Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Late Night Football. Welcome to another. It's kind of a well, it's a news reaction show, and I mean it's an interesting one that I'd always been thinking about for quite a while, and then it just pops into my head. So yesterday, Harry Kane, of course, completed his another he completed another record where he equaled Jimmy Greaves' scoring record of 266 goals, the most that have been scored for Spurs by any player. So he's equal that. He's probably going to break it. And that means officially, we'll know. With something that we already know is that Harry Kane will probably be Spurs' greatest ever goal scorer. That's an achievement. I think it's a fantastic achievement, one that definitely is worth being proud of, and that I'm sure Kane himself is very proud of as well. But then you start to think, what's next for Kane? What has come so far, and what's next? Because the fact is, Harry Kane has been very loyal to Spurs, probably too loyal. Some might say probably more loyal than he should have been. The reality is, he wanted to go to Manchester City a couple of summers, 2 summers, last summer, not last summer, the summer before that. And the thing is, maybe he should have gone, maybe he shouldn't have. And I always wonder if Kane looks at Hala and all the goals that he's scoring and just wonders to himself, that could have been me. That could have been me getting all the plaudits. That could have been me, perhaps winning a league title, perhaps winning, maybe getting close to winning a Champions League title as well. But he just wonder if he thinks to himself that could have been me. But then the question that comes now is, where does Harry Kane go from here? What does he do next? Now the conventional wisdom suggested that because he's going to be in the last season of his contract, at the end of this season, there's interest from a lot of different clubs, and conventional wisdom suggests that maybe he will leave. Maybe Spurs will finally let him go for a decent price, but they will let him go. He's almost 30 anyway, so there's all that talk. The reality is, then there's news that comes out that maybe Harry Kane wants to sign a new contract and stay at Spurs, and that begs the question: is it loyalty? Is it too much of being in the comfort zone? What is it that drives Harry Kane's decision making? Because, and I'll give my opinion on this, but I've seen a lot of differing opinions from a lot of different people. And the thing is, so a lot of people say, and there's some merit to it, is the fact that if Harry Kane stays at Spurs, or if he stays in England, but really if he stays in Spurs, he could very well break Alan Shearer's record for most Premier League goals. And I think at some point he will do that. And I do fully expect him to do that if he stays, in England. If he stays in the Premier League, I think he will do that. So there's that, and then that gives you a sort of a cachet, a sort of a recognition. And it's true, when you think about Alan Shearer, you don't think about the Premier League title that he won with Blackburn, or the fact, or anything else. When you think about him, as you think about him being the Premier League's top goal scorer of all time at the moment. So surely there's something to be said about that. About winning trophies is great, but then if you can actually get something like that, a record like that might be special as well. I think you can only achieve that at Spurs. So the question is does he want that? Does he want those individual records? And of course he'll break a whole host of other records. So I'm sure he's going to become England's top goal scorer at some point as well. I don't think that's very linked to him being at Spurs, but he's going to break that as well. He's probably going to break a couple other Spurs individual records as well. So the question is, and this is what the title says, the conundrum is: do you go for records or do you go for trophies? Because he's not winning any trophies at Spurs, or he's not any major ones. They might win a cup here and there. Maybe at some point they might do it. I really don't think they're going to win a league title or a Champions League in the next, say, 5 or 6 seasons, which is probably how long Kane's going to be around. Probably another 5-6 years. I mean, are they going to win a league title in that time? Are they going to win a Champions League in that time? Are they going to win a Europa League in that time as well? I think the answer to all three is probably not. And so the query is, what does Kane do? And I've seen so many different opinions. And let me know in the comments, of course, what do you think he should do? Because there's so many different opinions from so many different people, and I see it as he shouldn't be staying at Spurs. I think if he stays at Spurs, it's a lack of ambition. It really is. Because the fact is that at Spurs he has everything he needs in terms of, he's gonna get good money. He's gonna, his family is well settled. He's obviously gonna be a starter for the foreseeable future. He's gonna score a lot of goals. He's gonna get a lot of individual records. But the reality is, he's not going to win any trophies. Does he want to go down in history as probably the greatest player never to win a Premier League title? Does he want that? Steven Gerrard at the moment is probably that player, the greatest English player never to win a Premier League title. That's probably Steven Gerrard. But does Kane want to take over that mantle? I'm not sure if he does. And the reality is, this summer is probably a unique summer because there's going to be quite a few clubs that are going to be looking for strikers. I mean, we just spoke about Milan a little while ago. They're going to be looking for a striker because I don't think Giroud and Ibrahimovic are going to cut it anymore. So they're going to be looking for a striker. Inter Milan probably going to be looking at striker as well, because I don't think Lukaku, Lautaro Martinez have really filled them with much confidence. And then you've got Dzeko, who's kind of getting up there. So they'll be looking for a striker. Does he fancy a move to Italy though? That's the question. Will he get enough money there? Probably not. They're not going to pay him as much as Spurs do, or any other club will for that matter. So does he want to move there? Manchester United will probably be looking for a striker as well. Does he go there? As a United fan, I have to say I would like to see Kane at United, but I don't. Part of me wishes he doesn't come to United because I'd really like to see him go abroad. It's very rare that one of the best English players they go abroad. They usually don't. So I would, especially in the prime of their careers. So I really hope he does go abroad because I think that's where he should be. And then you've got Bayern Munich. I think Bayern Munich are probably the club outside of Europe, outside of England that have been closely linked with him. And I think that's a very good option for him. He's going to win a couple of trophies. Probably might win a Champions League as well at some point. But they desperately need a striker, someone like Kane. So I'm sure he'll be in consideration. He could definitely move there. PSG. Maybe. I mean, if Messi decides to leave, if Neymar decides to leave, then you've got an option to probably bring in Kane as well. I mean, I know Messi and Neymar, both have been on the. I mean, Messi's been on the verge of leaving ever since he joined. It's practically since last summer he was supposed to leave. This summer he's supposed to leave, so I don't know what's going to happen with him. Neymar has been the same way for the last 2 or 3 years. He's been on the verge of leaving as well. You never know what Mbappe will do, but I don't think he will leave in the summer. But you never know what he might do. But if he decides as well to go, I mean, Kane might be an option, but. I think PSG is a bit of a long shot. Bayern definitely are there. And then you've got Real Madrid. Real Madrid also will need somebody. Might think we need somebody to replace Benzema. Benzema's getting up there. He's injury prone as well this season. So maybe they might think, yeah, we need another striker that we can build around. So maybe they might look at Kane as well, especially as they're not going to get Haaland or Mbappe. They might think Kane is a good short-term option for season or two, and then we can go for someone else. So there are options as a striker. There are options for him outside of Europe. And Chelsea, I mean, Chelsea would be interested. They seem to be interested in every player, so they might be interested as well. But the fact is, I don't think he will go to Chelsea or Arsenal. I mean, that's the reality. I think Liverpool probably not going to go for him either. So in England, I think the only option, the realistic option at the moment, is Manchester United. And then you've got all these other European clubs. I think maybe he's looking at that as well. And that's where I think it comes down to the fact. I think Kane really wants to be the top goal scorer of all time in the Premier League. I think he's looking at that record. And so he's thinking, where can I go? And the only option is Manchester United. Anywhere else is a lateral move. Anywhere else is very much a non-existent move or a downward move. So the only move is Manchester United, which is pretty much a lateral move. You're not really United. I don't think are going to win any big trophies either for the next at least year or two. I know a lot of people think Ten Hag is going to do it, but I think he's got to get the backing, and he's not going to get that as long as the Glazers are around. So at the moment, I'm going to assume that the Glazers are still going to be here, and if they're still going to be here, there's not going to be much. It's really going to be a lateral move for him. So I think he's looking at it from that perspective as well. And so he's thinking, well, maybe I should stay at Spurs because I don't want to go to Munich. I don't want to go to Madrid. I don't want to go to Milan. Those are all beautiful options, by the way, but just the world that we live in these days, isn't it? It's about money, it's about security, it's about family, and those things do matter as well. So that's the way that I look at it. So I think for Kane, if he's ambitious, he's got options this season. And therefore, I think this summer is going to define Kane as a player. I think 2 years ago, we probably said, his agent was at fault and he couldn't go through. But this summer, there's no excuses. He's on the last year of his contract. There are some big clubs out there that are going to be looking for strikers. And the question really is, does Kane want to go? And he wants to test himself in a different league, maybe win a few trophies, maybe be part of something. Or does he say, no, I want to stay in England. I just want to get that individual record for myself. And stay at Spurs but yeah, probably stay at Spurs because I don't see him going to United, to be honest. But stay at Spurs and just do what I'm doing at the moment. So those are conundrums, and I think as a fan of football, that's the conundrum, isn't it? Do you go for individual records? I mean, that's a legacy as well, by the way. And I'm not saying this in a bad way, but I mean, I can see the point of staying in England and trying to get those individual records because you only really you don't always have a shot at those, do you? So the fact is that it's come quite close. So there's always a sense of, well, I got to stay and I got to see it through. So maybe there's that as well. Or do you try and win a few trophies? Maybe have a few celebrations, stuff like that. And I mean, in my mind, it's an easy decision, but I'm sure it's a tough decision for many people. So, and I'm sure it's a tough decision for Kane to make as well. So that's where we are. I don't have, this is what I think. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about it? Do you think, what do you think Kane should be doing? Or what do you think Kane will be doing? In my mind, I feel like he's going to stay at Spurs. I feel like with the recent reports, I just have a feeling that he's going to stay at Spurs because isn't it? It just feels like he wants to be remembered as the Premier League's greatest ever goal scorer. I think he wants to be remembered as that. and staying at Spurs is probably the best route to achieving that objective. So that's what I think. But let me know what you think, of course. So always happy to hear your thoughts. Please do smash a like if you enjoyed this video, of course, and do subscribe to our channel for more such content. We've got lots of exciting videos that you can watch, and that will be coming up for you to watch. So please do subscribe so you can go notified as soon as they drop. And do that on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, everywhere. Follow us on Twitter as well. But everywhere, and you can find us. Links in the description below, of course. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye bye.